Hi everyone, and welcome to the 22nd to the 28th of March. So this is a beautiful week. It's all about unity. You're going to feel vibes that's going to be nudging you and pushing you to get a little bit closer to people that are also close to you, or perhaps even just other communities. You're going to feel a need to regroup, and you're going to see people also just naturally starting to gravitate back to each other, and all for the sake of strategizing, mapping things out and towards a common goal, which is of course success. And that success can be for the community. It can be mutual beneficial success that everyone will share from and benefit from if a lot of people do come together and work together. So whether you see that within your work environment, within your relationship environment, or even just within your people around you, you're going to feel that the need to just jump in there and to be part of it. So if you do see that, jump in, be part of the fun, be part of the cooperation, because whatever benefit that's going to come from that will help you to lead you onto a path of success. So it will be positive, and that's the best part about that I love about this week. So when you do also find yourself, mapping things out, and you start to feel like, wow, whatever it is that you're cooperating with, or you have cooperation from others, and you start to feel and see that success, be mindful that you don't overcompensate by feeling a little bit too possessive of that, because it is shared success. Everyone benefits. Everyone, for example, will have their experience in their moment within that's going to be positive. But be mindful that you don't push, that you don't feel like me, mine, that it's shared. Because what can happen here is if you push too hard, you can feel like you're going to upset a few people. You might step on the wrong toes. And it's not that you want to take away from them. It's much more so people might feel that you want to. But of course, that is not necessarily the case. So things can start off positive, but it can also maybe end a little bit negative. Because remember, we're still in a state of overcompensating of what has been lost. Okay, we're still in that place, and we're slowly starting to move out of that. Slowly but surely, we're all healing collectively from that place of lack, from that place of not having the security or perhaps the foundational strength that we used to have. But we're slowly building that back. And so the more we start to put back the pieces, the more people might start to feel, oh, this is the security that I wanted. This is security. And because there's been such a lack, we latch on to that. And we don't want to let go. And we become like the dog with the bone. No one can touch that bone. Okay, so be mindful that we don't snap, that we don't necessarily, tick people off for whatever reasons. Maybe it's your own emotional turmoil or distress that you might be going through, the fear that might create the more you feel and see that success. So be mindful of that. Don't get too caught up in it. Enjoy it, because it is yours. No one can take away if something is meant to be yours. You might also feel that your intuition is opening up a little bit more, that things are starting to flow a little bit better for you. And within that, we're going to have these flashes of intuition. There might be something that could also happen this week where you might have an instant reaction to it, right? Very instant, without even conscious thought to it. And when that happens, I invite you to just pause. Pause and just think, is my reaction, especially if it's an overreaction, is my reaction valid? Is this really needed given the circumstances that I'm facing right now? Because what could be happening here is that instead of thinking, you might be thinking, wow, this is my intuition's coming forward. But if it's a physical feeling, if it was more of like a physical reaction that you felt like jolting through your body, take note of that. That could actually have been an instinctive reaction. Because remember that instinctive reactions, they fire off without our conscious realization. We don't actually think which instinct's going to fire off. It happens without our ability to even control it. And it's fast. It's split seconds. And sometimes, actually in most cases, we only become aware of that instinctive response that's been fired off consciously after a few minutes, or probably after a minute or so. So if you have that knee-jerk reaction, as we could probably call it, take note of that. It might not actually be your intuition. It might actually be something that triggered a subconscious memory in your mind, but you not necessarily have conscious access to, which just means it's an implicit memory. So your body might have the physical reaction to that, because remember, your subconscious mind never sleeps. It's always watching. It's always observing. So it could have triggered something very deep down, and your body had a physical reaction to that, a biochemical reaction. So pause, evaluate. I know I'm speaking here, and it's hard for me, when I have this in a situation where I need to react, and I'm upset, and I'm angry, and I'm thinking, breathe. Think about the anger video series that you filmed, Evette. Just breathe, right? Listen to your own advice. And I have to pause, and I can feel, wow, this is something that triggered a lack in me, or it triggered something in me that I haven't addressed in the past. But we don't always have that instant conscious recollection and access to the actual memory. And that's why you need to pause. That's why you just need to sit back a little bit and go, okay, let's evaluate this. Journal about it. Think about it. Meditate on it. Because there is an important message here coming forward. And that is perhaps a very deep old wound that's now coming forward and saying, hey, let's wrap this up. Let's end this contract. Let's be done. And then also just the final word, whatever you do this week, take it easy. Take it easy, because this week has vibes coming in very fast and also leaving really fast, where you're going to feel like committing, where you're going to feel like, no, I don't want it anymore. So it's a bit of a ping pong game. It's going to feel like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. If you feel that, just don't. If in doubt, no. Just pause, just wait. Next week will be a better week for especially committing to something, especially if it's a serious decision that you have to make and you feel stuck. But also the good news is that you can watch my videos, how to make a decision, also on my YouTube channel at evettevideos.com. So you can go check it out if you feel stuck with something, to help you to analyze what it is that's actually really going. What is it that you feel stuck with that you don't consciously have access to? So guys, until next week, be the light that you are. Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling you because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!